Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to the League of Super Ultra Mega Geeks January podcast. I'm here with Blending Meapa and Tidmoth. Hello, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
How are we all doing?
Tired.
Tired.
Good and sounding like Batman.
Yeah, sounding a little bit like Batman. A bit of a sore throat have you there, Blending?
Yeah, I'm having a cold, so yeah, well, stuff happens.
Yeah, me and Lady Hellish just got over colds. Recording videos and doing live streaming and stuff is not fun when you've got a cold. It's surprisingly difficult.
Not at all.
But yeah, so we're all here. We're all here on this brand new podcast. We're going to be doing one of these every month. It might not be myself chairing it. We may have other special guests in, different members of LOSUMG. But there's going to be a little bit of a different format to each one, different topics and so forth. I'll say right now, if anybody watching has any requests for any topics for either next month or coming months, please let us know in the comments, and we will probably touch on some of those topics that people have requested. But did everybody have a good New Year and Christmas? Because, of course, we are mid-January now. I've just about recovered from the whole season.
Yeah, it's nice and relaxing.
Relaxing? Oh, of course, Meapa. You have a better climate for relaxing at that time of the year, don't you? What's it like round your end?
Hot. Really, really hot. That's just about it.
Yeah, here in the UK it was miserable, it was raining. I think around about New Year we even had a bit of snow. Tidmoth, when was the snow? Can you remember?
I don't know. It hasn't snowed enough for me to care.
Yeah, it didn't snow very much. It was only, a covering over the ground, but it was enough to make the ground very slippy. I was driving around in my car and it was sliding all over the place. So very different to your climate, Meapa. So
Yeah.
slightly jealous in a way, but
I'm not.
Oh, well, if went over for the Twitter, you would see me bragging about it.
well, I do remember. Was it New Year's? You sent a tweet out with a nice little picture, or was it Christmas?
Oh, I think it must have been New Year.
Yeah, New Year.
I know you sent one to me a couple of weeks ago, and then I immediately sent one back of my hotel room in Scotland at night.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I didn't actually know what that was.
So Tidmoth went up to Scotland for New Year. Why did you go up to Scotland, Tidmoth?
We were going to see our friend who's recently moved up.
I see. Lady Hellish was born in Scotland. She's actually originally Scottish. Moved down south to join myself in these recent years. But Blending, what was New Year like for you over in Belgium?
Well, actually, same as England, very wet. But we also had some snow, like you said, enough to make the cars go slide. Just all over the place. But apart from that, it's more like, it was really calm. It's like we went to, I think, was my parents to have dinner, and that was about it. And then at, 1 o'clock, we went to bed, we were both exhausted. So, it wasn't really much, but we had a good time.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people really go to town on the New Year's parties, and we're not really one for that. I mean, last year we did host a bit of a party, and it wasn't too big. Usually we just get together in our groups of friends and just hang out. But this year we decided to do something a little bit different, and we headed out and went actually into the town. We hit the nightclubs, and and I was expecting that there'd be this, big kind of coming up to New Year, the big countdown, and everybody would be counting down, and then it'd be New Year and everybody cheering, which is probably what was supposed to happen, but didn't. They had the TVs on in the background of London with, Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament and the clock and all that, which they do every year, and there's usually fireworks all along the Thames on the TV. And they had that on the TVs behind the bar, But we were all dancing away on the dance floor, the music was going along, and I'm sure at one point the DJ looked up and saw that the fireworks were already going off and went, Happy New Year! And everybody went, way! And then just carried on dancing. It was quite unspectacular, really. We almost missed it. I mean, we only missed it by a few seconds, I think, but it didn't really go to plan. But we had a good night anyway.
I pretty much missed it because I was sitting on the Minecraft server with Blending, and we sent off some fireworks at my base.
Yes, there is a bit of a video about that. And what I'll do is I'll put the link to your video in the podcast video there, and I'll link that down there. And if people want to go and see Tidmoth pretty much on his own on the Minecraft server, because pretty much every other member of the League of Super Ultra Mega Geeks in the UK went out. I was out with the Lord Hill and Arak and Magic Monkey, and so the four of us were actually out with our respective partners. There are other members of LOSUM in the UK, but they also were out, and I think Tidmoth, you were the only one that was just at home on the Minecraft server.
Yeah.
I probably could have joined you, but I had better things to do.
Well, yeah, but you've got to remember, at that time of day, Meapa, with the difference in time, what would it have been, 6 o'clock in the morning for you?
Oh, I think it might have been... I think it's around about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm just wondering now about time zones.
It's 10 hours. I'm 10 hours ahead.
Oh, right, okay.
I think.
Yeah, so it'd been 10 o'clock in the morning. If that's
plus daylight saving, right. I think, yeah.
I'm quite good with some time zones, but other time zones I don't know. Because of my work, I actually know a good chunk of Europe. I know kind of North and South America are quite a few of those time zones, because I work with a lot of people over there. But you go kind of east past Europe, and I'm not really sure about many of the time zones.
Yeah, because I just remember it's 10 hours ahead of where you got of England, so it's the easiest way to remember it. Never know US though.
Yeah. A friend of mine, he was abroad for New Year's, and he was sending photos back, and I was looking at the time thinking, God, he's like 7 hours early. But then obviously I was like, oh, he's abroad. I completely forgot he was away at the time that he sent the photos. So yeah, I mean, time zones are a funny thing. It also makes it quite challenging when we're doing these podcasts and recording and so forth.
Yeah.
A lot of the LOSUM events start at 1 o'clock UK time, which makes it difficult for Meapa, doesn't it?
10 PM.
Yeah.
10 PM.
So if Meapa wants to be on a long event, you pretty much have to pull an all-nighter, don't you?
Yeah, basically, most events, it usually ends up 2 AM, 3 AM.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
I stay up till that time anyway.
Yeah, Tidmoth is a late night bird. If I'm going to bed and my phone goes off and I think, oh no, that's another LOSUM message. What do I have to fix now? It'll be Tidmoth going, hey, look at this drawing I did. At like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. But I
did that once yesterday.
Yeah, Tidmoth's been doing some great artwork for LOSUM over the recent days, and I think that your capacity in that point is probably going to grow, because some of the stuff you're doing is really quite exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, I only sent it last night because you were still online on Skype, so I thought, oh, he's still there, great, I'll send it to him.
Well, the thing is, though, I keep Skype on my phone, so I'm always online.
I've had to turn that off for me, because every time I'm trying to sleep, someone decides to call. It's not... Like, you just get in bed, all relaxed and everything, and then the phone's making a big laser light show from all the notifications.
I mean, my phone's an Android phone, and on the latest version of Android, there's when you press your volume buttons, there's a new mode which is like non-priority and all, and I use it when I'm recording as well. I've got it set right now, so it's in priority mode, so my phone won't make any noise unless it's certain people, and that it does the same thing at night. No, Tidmoth, not you.
Oh.
Clearly me.
No, it's just, parents, fiance, so forth, Lady Hellish, so who is the same person? fiance and Lady Hellish is the same person. We don't want people thinking that I've got two on the go.
He does.
Well,
so it can be quite annoying, but there's lots of different things that we have to overcome when we're doing these recordings, not just time zones and communications and things, but it's good fun to do. I mean, I've recently shout out to Larry. Hello, Larry. Recently started recording with Larry, and what date is it? This podcast I think is going out on the 15th. So actually, I think yesterday, Larry's first video of my new Factorio series went live. And my video will be coming this Sunday, so there's a plug for that. So maybe I should put a link to that in the description as well.
yeah, well.
So which is all quite good, and then of course, along with these podcasts, we've also got the weekly, what we call in a Meapa.
The weekly wrap-up.
Yeah, weekly wrap-up. Do you want to tell people a little bit about that?
Okay, basically it's just a short video where I basically summarize up everything that's been happening in the LOSUMG channel and everyone else's channels. Yeah. And I basically just talk about the videos and what's been happening.
Yeah,
which
so
has been going great
highlights,
so far.
like highlights and key events and things.
Yeah. And also, upcoming events and stuff.
Yeah, upcoming events and things like that. That's a good point, actually. Nice little segue. We've got lots of events happening at the minute. I think we're planning at least 2 events every single month.
But I think that's what you've got so far, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got all of January and February's events planned. And maybe by the time this podcast goes out, we'll have the next couple of months maybe at least booked in. We'll have to see. I need to work with the guys here, the LOSUMG guys. At the moment, there's no one person that kind of organises the events. Meapa is kind of in charge of our social media, and Ken Dorian does a few different things. But actually, while I remember, Ken Dorian, congratulations on your new baby daughter.
Yeah.
Woo!
Indeed. Blending, you went to visit them, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. My wife and I went to the hospital and visited them. It's actually quite a lovely baby.
Oh, it is it? Don't you find that sometimes you look at babies and you think, oh no, your baby's a little bit funny looking, and then everybody's like, oh, aren't they cute? And you're thinking, yeah, in a weird sort of way. And then, of course, that's just like a first little baby stage, and they grow up into lovely little toddlers all the time, don't they? But to me, some babies just look weird. Is it just me?
No, I agree.
No, I completely agree with you.
Okay.
I'm one of the weird people who finds the young of other animals cuter than our own babies.
Well, I think most people do, though.
Yeah,
like,
puppies
you can never
and
go
kittens,
past
they're adorable.
A baby.
A baby.
You can't go past a dog. Maybe a puppy.
Well, I always say to my wife that the baby looks like a wrinkled red potato. So when I say that Kendoran's kid is actually pretty beautiful, then I actually mean it.
Oh yeah, well there you are.
It's like a kid that is like, that's at least a proper kid and not a wrinkled red potato.
Mr. Blunt
That's
himself.
Good to hear.
AFK host has actually come along and said, here we go, we've got a nice baby here. So I'm wondering how that's going to affect, whether that will affect Kendorian's attendance at their next LAN party that's coming up.
Well, I asked him, and he said he's going. Could be that he sometimes has to leave if his wife, his girlfriend, needs something or he needs to do something. But he'll definitely come to the LAN party.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to coming again. I mean, I went. When was the last one? September, wasn't it?
No, it was October. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I went late last year, and it was really good fun. And quite a few of the guys, some of the LOSUMG guys in the UK here, wanted to come over as well, but they couldn't. And I think maybe if you do another winter one, we might be able to all come over. I'm not going this time because it's mine and Lady Hellish's 7-year anniversary.
Ooh.
Oh.
Congrats.
I don't know how she's put up with me so long. Most people don't bother.
Well, we don't know either.
Done something right.
Hellish, so.
Yeah. So, before I go back to what I was talking about, can anybody remember the second thing that I said I was going to put in the comments?
No.
No.
No. I have no idea. But we was talking about what some of the guys are doing. Obviously, Meapa is doing the weekly wrap-up and social media stuff. And we've also got Zinch, who's taken control of the League of Super Ultra Mega Geeks website. So if there's anything wrong with that, it's now his fault. But
I know exactly what to complain about then.
Yeah. But there's but what I'd like to say is, we haven't got an events coordinator at the moment, so I'm kind of doing that with these guys. And what I'll do is I'll post a link in the description to all the to the place where you can look up the events. At the moment, we're using Facebook to kind of keep track of what events are going on and so forth. We already had that Facebook account open, but I didn't really feel the need to create a whole new calendar or a whole new place to put these events. People can still view, it's a public page, so people can still view that whether they've got Facebook or not. So, yeah, I'll put a link in the description to that as well.
Sorry to jump back to a previous topic, but what did everyone get nice for Christmas?
Oh, nice thought.
Who's going first?
Well, I think Tidmoth suggested it. He should go first.
Yeah.
Well, I have a link in the Dropbox to my favourite present, which I don't know if Hellish wants to show it on screen.
I'm going to. I'll tell you what. I will show it on the screen. A stream. Here we go. So
it's a fantastic gift. It was a joke, but it actually turned out to be my favourite. So.
Oh wow!
A sticker colouring book.
Yeah.
Lovely.
My Little Pony.
Indeed.
Yeah. Tidmoth has some sort of weird thing. We won't go into it.
How
I
dare
think it's
you?
best we don't.
Yeah. That's where his yes, that's where your LOSUM logo, your personal logo, comes from, isn't it?
Yes, it's a character that I created.
And I think you did. Did you do a Let's Draw a video on that?
I did, but it was drawing someone else.
Oh, right, okay. But yeah, that's an interesting little thing that you got there. Who got you that?
It was my brother.
I see. Somebody who
You
knows
got a
you
good
very
brother.
well. Oh, well. Meepa, what did you get then?
Chocolates.
Chocolates.
Chocolates, clothes. And yeah.
The staple. Did you get any socks?
Oh, don't think so, no.
Yeah, lots of sock giving
this
usually.
then.
Yeah, lots of sock giving tends to happen at Christmas, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure the sales of socks goes skyrocketing through the roof.
In
And
the year,
Satsumas.
the month of December, like they would have massive marketing for it all because they know this is going to be the month of socks.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what we should tag December as now, the month of socks.
And we could call October the month of pumpkins.
Yeah. But January, though, for New Year's, one supermarket in the UK said they were selling a bottle of Asti every second in the UK. So I think maybe January, I'd say, is in some ways the booze month, but then people tend to give it up, and we'll probably move on to resolutions later in the podcast. But yeah, chocolate and clothes, cool.
Just how I like it.
Yeah, I mean, we got some chocolates, we got some biscuits, I got some clothes, including some loungewear from Lady Hellish and my sister actually. I've got very loose-fitting kind of baggy, almost pajama-like clothes that I tend to wear around the house all the time because I don't like a lot of the kind of fashion that is like jeans and so forth, but I tend
really tight.
Yeah, I don't like wearing tighter clothes. It's just not very nice. I'm not as comfortable, and But I do tend to change my clothes when I go out. Ever since I think I went down to the local shop in my pajama bottoms once, but that was an accident. Well, it wasn't an accident. I knew that I had them on, but I wasn't planning on going to the shop, and I wasn't actually at my house. I was at a friend's house, and I needed some food because I forgot to take some to the event we were having at his house, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to have to go to the shop." I was like, "But I'm wearing my pajama bottoms because we were just hanging out and having a nice lazy day and playing some tabletop wargaming." And I'm just thinking to myself, I've got to go down there in my pajama bottoms, and it was kind of that sort of accident. But no, I do like wearing my loungewear. I got some of that, and my parents bought me a nice coat. I did buy myself a Mantic board game, Dwarf King's Hold, The Green Menace. They've got a new one coming out sometime soon. I missed the Kickstarter for it, but I got that. I haven't played it yet. I'm really looking forward to it, and I actually did an unboxing video, so if you want to see that, if you want to see me unboxing that, link for that will be in the description.
If you remember.
I'm writing a note now. I'm just going to...
That's my idea.
I don't know about everyone else. I'm looking forward to the release on the 27th of this month, which should be GTA 5.
Yes.
Yes.
GTA 5 on PC. Why have we had to wait so long?
Well,
because we're the best. They've got to save them till last.
Yes.
I don't know. I was being a bit funny about buying it on a console because about 6 months to a year ago, I went and looked at my console and I was like, I only use you as a Blu-ray player, and I just got all my games that I didn't play and just went and sold them all. I think I put them all on eBay or something, and so I just felt a bit wrong about having GTA 5 on my console when I don't use it anymore, and I only really use my PC.
Well, what type of console do you have?
It's a PS3. I was looking at trying to maybe get a PS4, but I really couldn't justify it. I just do not use the console enough. Maybe if I had a PS4 I'd use it more, but I don't think so. Not with the amount that I use my PC.
Well, I have a PS4 now, and I actually use it to play games like Diablo 3 and Shadow of Mordor. So really, games made for console, and then afterwards, when they get ported to PC, are, well, not playing as comfortable as they should be on a console. So that's actually the only reason why I have a PS4, because even Blu-rays, I mean, I've got Netflix, so I can just watch whatever I want on my TV.
Yeah, when it came round to around Christmas time, I did get a free trial of Amazon Prime, so I had Amazon Instant thing, whatever it's called. I didn't actually try it, didn't actually use it, but it was there, and I don't really watch a lot of Blu-rays anymore. It's mainly YouTube and stuff. I think the way that we watch TV and the way that we work with things is changing a lot. There's going to be a whole generation that just doesn't watch TV pretty soon. It's just going to be online content.
Yeah, like I used to watch it all the time, and as the years go on, it's like there's just nothing on really.
Yeah.
I've been asked in the past, it was like, oh, you do this, you do that, you got this hobby, you live stream and you do that. How do you find time to do all this? My answer is usually pretty simple. It's like, I don't watch TV. And they were like, well, so what? And I was like, well, when you think about it, how long do you actually watch TV for? And a lot of people, they come from home during the week, they get some dinner, and they sit down in front of the telly, and they'll probably play about on their phone, watch TV, and then head off to bed. Which, is fine if they want to do that, but whilst they're sat there, they've actually probably passed 3-4 hours worth of just being sat in front of the telly, and very often they're just watching it just so they can sit down and just chill out, which is good for them, but that's where I get my time from. I don't do that sort of thing. I'm constantly doing something, with the exception of when Lady Hellish decides she wants to sit down in front of the TV with me. But I try and avoid that as much as possible because she watches the soaps, and I'm not a fan.
EastEnders?
Yeah,
I
sometimes.
Feel you, man. I feel you. I mean, soaps, no times. My wife also watches like Find My Family, like people who were adopted and are trying to find their real family, their biologically, and then I'm like, nope. I'm in the bureau. You don't see me until the soap stop.
My dad's the same. He will as soon as my mother flicks the TV over to a soap, he'll just get up, walk upstairs, and he'll just get his guitar out and just play his guitar in the bedroom, and then he'll come down in about half an hour and look, and if it's still going on or she's watching another one, he'll go back up and carry on playing his guitar. So I think that's something that a lot of people have in common. But yeah, going back to GTA, I am really quite looking forward to it. I am very annoyed that it didn't come out straight away, or at least quite soon after.
I think it was originally supposed to come out with the next gen releases.
Yeah, it was meant to come
the
out.
PS4 and the Xbox.
But then, I don't know what happened, but they delayed it till 27th, which is like nearly 1.5 years after the original release or something.
It is a very long time.
Speaking of the PS4, I was tempted to get one, but the only game I really want to get on it at the moment is Little Big Planet 3. So
I played Little Big Planet 3 before it was released at a preview at the EGX event in London. And whilst, yes, there's different layers to it, and yes, there's new characters, and that does add a bigger dimension to it, I do feel it is, in some ways, pretty much... I don't know, how much can you expand a game like that? And how much can you really get the interconnectivity into between people? Because I think the thing that they missed out on with Little Big Planet is the ability to not only play the game and create your own stuff, but share it and do stuff with other people. And I want to know, where is the mode where two people can build a level together online and share it online? And I don't think there's a mode for that. And also, why is there no kind of like special championships or leagues and all this sort of social stuff that they could bring in? Because to me, one of the best bits about Little Big Planet is being able to make your own stuff and make your own levels and share it. But if all you're doing is clicking a share button and it's going into a list and nobody's looking at it, what's the point?
True.
There needs to be more network and media and more organisation behind it to actually make it viable, make it work.
There has actually been a lot of SN issues with Little Big Planet 3. Nerdcubes has been doing several videos with his dad, and they've been playing online. The latest video they've had to do as like a local host because they just couldn't be connected long enough, and the game just killed them every single fight.
Yeah, I mean, that is one problem with doing things interconnectively. But these days, a lot of people have got half decent internet. Servers generally should be up unless people are hacking them. But yeah, I mean, I don't see why those sorts of things can't happen. And
yes, speaking of hacking, I think maybe we should talk about what happened to me on Steam last week.
Ah, yes, not just you, many people.
Yes, many people.
Is that the where you click the link and it downloads the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I clicked it like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's obviously by the time I got messages from Clappo, from probably I think Kendorian and Tidmoth.
I think Clappo maybe got it from me as well.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to figure out where it came from. I think it might have been originated from you, Tidmoth, within our group. But you guys warned me about it before I got the message, so I can't say whether I would have clicked it or not. I'm not sure.
Well, it's a very suspicious thing. I mean, it is just what the F question mark and then some dodgy link.
Yeah.
I think most of us are ITers. I don't know. Common sense says if you get a link like that, don't ever click on it.
Yeah. Or at least just reply back to the person.
Yeah, asking what the link is about.
Yeah, and very often these sorts of links, and they don't all have the same text in front of them. It has a text generator that sends different things, but very often it will have you seen this, or wow, must have, or what on earth, and things like that, and it'll just have something that tries and grabs you and makes you click on it. And it's those grabby sentences that ring alarm bells to me. If I just get a random thing saying, "Oh my goodness, you have to look at this," I'll immediately think, well, if it was that good, you probably would have told me about it or spoke to me about it, not just gone link.
Yeah,
because like some of them have been like, "Is this you?" or something.
Yeah,
like asking if this is a photo of you, kind of thing.
Yeah, is this you, or have you seen this photo of you, or did you know that this was you, or something like that. But it's always those short, grabby kind of things that make, if you think that first word, that first sentence before the link is just something that seems to try and make you go straight to a link without talking, then that always makes me suspicious of it.
There is one account, I don't know if it's the origin of this entire thing or whether it's connected or what, but every single person who's been affected by it seems to have automatically left a comment on their Steam page in Russian for some reason. Because when you've clicked on the link, or someone you know clicked on the link, you'll see a little notification box up to say you've left a comment on someone's page. And I mean, it automatically leaves a message in your friend's sort of message box, and it leaves a comment on their profile page as well.
Yeah, well, you left, I think it was you and Clappo left comments on my profile page as well.
Yeah, I went around and deleted all of mine. I don't know if everyone else has as well.
But maybe it was originated from somebody wanting to spam somebody else.
Well, you'd probably find a lot of those times it's the new accounts, which are like level 1 private accounts. They like mass add people.
Yeah.
And then they message those people, and then that's when they spray it out.
Yeah. I mean,
it does hack you a little bit as well, I think, because all of my Steam trading cards have all gone now.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I haven't lost anything else like the games, so I can always get those back.
Yeah, I think if it was in a situation where people was going to be losing games and stuff, Steam would have probably stepped in by now, and there'd be mass notifications and newsreels. I'm surprised it didn't hit the news, because it sounded like it was quite a big thing within the Steam community.
Yeah. I mean, my friend Daz sent me a link to sort of like a sort of news report on like some little news website about gaming, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Steam has added a lot more security things since of this problem. Like, I know when you trade people, it now comes up with like, this person is level whatever, and like things like that.
I think it's also a safe thing to say is that don't have anybody on your contacts that you haven't already spoke to or know through another means in Steam. Don't just accept random people. That is always a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if for example, I spoke to you guys on various different methods, and then when we added each other on Steam, I accepted you guys because I know that who you were. I'd spoke to you, but some people add anybody out of curiosity so that they can go and look at their profile and find out more about them. But I think if you try and step away from that curiosity, because just leave it. If you don't know them, you don't know them. And if it is somebody you know, they're going to send you a message by another means saying, "Hey dude, I added you on Steam, why didn't you accept?" And you'll be like, "Oh, that's your name on Steam?" And then you can go get it and accept it. Or say, oh, I didn't know it was you, send it again. Not a problem. I think it's better to have that sort of way of working.
See, the only problem with that is, like, when you're a trader kind of thing, like I am, well, not anymore, but when I was, you would put up your trade things on, like, backpack.tf kind of thing, and they would usually add you. That was before the in-Steam trading thing.
Yeah.
So you had to add them kind of thing. And that's how a lot of the time those kind of profiles got through.
Yeah. I suppose with that sort of setup, you could probably look at maybe a second account if you were doing something like that, separate from your private one. I'm not sure whether that would have been a good idea generally, but you do have to be careful with security, not just on Steam, but all over the place.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it's happening, but wherever you go in life, you can walk down the street and somebody could just walk up to you and punch you in the face. Just because there's bad things and a danger somewhere, it doesn't mean that thing should not be used or is immediately evil or anything like that. I mean, there's bad things and bad people in all aspects of life, so it's all about just managing it and just taking care, and you do have to be careful online. That's a
bit like a funny image my friend sent me. Sort of one of these memey pictures with like a picture in the middle and then like text above and below. And it says, "Video games make me violent," and then a question underneath, "Does Monopoly make me a millionaire?"
Well, exactly. That's brilliant. Perfect example. I mean, I can understand how, playing a really violent game to a young individual may desensitize them to certain things or subconsciously add certain extra ideas, especially if you're susceptible to that sort of thing. But that's one of the reasons why we have age limits on certain games, because once you reach a certain level of development in your life, you're old enough to know the difference. You're old enough to know what is right and wrong.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day,
I always say that.
When you're an adult, there's so many different things in the world that you can't control. The only thing you can really control in your life is whether you are good or bad. And by that sort of age, you should know. And that's one of the reasons why we have ratings on games. And I think if there is a problem with young people or vulnerable people getting into or being influenced by games, if there is a problem, then maybe the solution is not around the people who make the games or the games themselves. The solution should be the way that they're distributed and the way that they're looked at and handled and kept safe from the people that shouldn't be viewing them because they're either young or susceptible.
I remember my friend Jim did a video about, I think it was like sort of Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff, saying that players on those games were getting censored because of the amount of children that were on the servers.
Oh, right.
See, the thing is, like, if 12 and, 10, 12-year-old kids, shouldn't be on COD or Battlefield.
Exactly.
Because it's a 15-plus game, or whatever it is in your country. But the thing is, it's so easy to buy it for them, because all you need is an adult at the counter, or through Steam even, and a 12-year-old's got it.
Yeah.
And they're complaining about how those kids are becoming more violent, in quotation marks. But really, we should be looking about how they're obtaining that game and why the parents are letting them play it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's that just comes down to a lot of things. But like what I was saying earlier, and just like what you said, in summary, the blame seems to be shifted in the wrong place by the media, in my opinion. Yeah. The blame seems to go on the games and the game makers, not the retailers and the parents. I think they're looking at the wrong end. The wrong end of things. They're looking at where it's being produced, not where it's being consumed. And they should be looking at the consuming end of what's going on, not at the producing end.
I'm not going to lie. I'm too young to play GTA 5, but I still play it. But because I rarely play online, it doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, is that sometimes, people are old enough to know the difference. They're old enough to know things. And this is one of the reasons why there's different levels in different countries. I mean, people perceive things in different ways, but it's
a bit like alcohol levels, because the drinking age in America is 21, but is it 18 here?
The legal age to buy alcohol is 18, but if you're in your own home, it is legal to give a I think it's from 5-year-olds alcohol.
I think it's actually perfectly legal for a 5-year-old to drink alcohol if they're in the beer garden.
No. You have to be in your own home for that law. Obviously, different laws go around the world in different ways, but like you say, though, it's within your own home. It's in a controlled environment. You've been looked at by your parents. Some people might say it's completely wrong to give a young person alcohol at all. Some people might say, okay, my 6-year-old's at the table with us. We were having Christmas dinner. I gave them, a third of a glass of wine to have with their dinner. And some people might not see a problem with that because it's all part of the atmosphere. Maybe that sort of early introduction to alcohol will help that child grow and become more respectful of alcohol in the future. Don't know. But yeah, it does depend on what's going on. I think there is a line that you would cross where if you did give your child a significant amount of alcohol, that would get to the point of child abuse. So there are a lot of different ways of looking at that. But yeah, age restrictions on lots of things can be quite strange, especially, say, like games like GTA. But I do like GTA. I've played it for a long time, and I am looking forward to it. So maybe we can do some sort of LOSUM event when we get round to GTA, because it sounds like quite a few of us will be having it.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Cool. Okay, well, I'll put
a LOSUM clan as well.
Yeah, I'll LOSUM clan. Yeah, we'll get a LOSUM clan going. We'll put a date in the diary and we'll sort some things out. Blending. I've got a note here that I wrote down earlier. We never got to you about what you got for Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think 2 PS4 games from my wife. And I think that was about it. No clothes, no cookies, just games.
Just games.
How typical.
Just games. I like it. I think I've got too many games now. I've got so many games in my Steam library because I've been subscribing to these humble bundles.
Yeah.
That I really have no idea what to do with half of them. But I mean, if the money wasn't going to charity, I'd feel stupid for spending money on games and then having them in my library and not playing on them. But pretty much all the money that I put through on that is going to charity, so I don't mind. It's, the charity gets money, I get games in my Steam library if I get bored, so why not? If anybody wants to check out Humble Bundle, I will put a link in the description. It is a brilliant place to pick up games and stuff. I think, has Prison Architect been on there before?
I don't think so.
You do sometimes get games like that.
Yeah.
FTL, I don't think was.
It has been.
It has been, has it?
Yes.
Oh, right. Now, that might have been where I got FTL from. Spoiler alert, I'm doing an FTL Let's Play series coming up sometime soon. Mini-series. But yeah, Humble Bundle is somewhere I'd highly recommend guys to check out because it's for good causes all around the world. You get to pay a small amount of money. As an example, today I think I paid about it was about $6 or $7, and I got like 8 games for that price, which is quite good. And nearly all the money went to charity. So it's a bit of a win-win-win situation there. So yeah, I highly recommend people to check that out. And if you do have a couple of dollars spare in a month, then maybe it is a good thing that people can go check out and get some games.
Because the thing is, it's $136. I'm looking at the current one for the weekly one, and you can pay $15 for that. So you're saving a lot.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those games you probably maybe wouldn't buy because there is a wide variety of different games out there, different game types. I mean, they also do comics and audiobooks sometimes as well, and also mobile stuff as well. I normally just go for the games, but yeah, they recently, just before Christmas, they recently reached $50 million raised by the Humble community, which I think is a fantastic amount of money raised out of people paying money for cheap games. It's a really good thing. I think it's a really good thing when a charity can do something that benefits people in both directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't think Humble Bundle itself is a charity, they just work with charities.
No.
They do actually. You can leave what they call a humble tip, and they actually get a small amount of the money. But with the amount of money that's raised for charities, I don't really mind. And you can change that. You can actually go into the sliders options and actually take that off. completely, and also the developers get some of the money. So that's pretty
you
good,
can change it for developers, charity, and humble tip.
Yeah, so you can just change all that around. I usually just flip the slider across, so nearly all of it goes to charity. The humble gets a small tip. The developers get a little wedge of money, and the rest goes to charity. So that's usually what I do. And yeah, if you haven't checked it out before, I highly recommend you check that out. Blending, what games did you get for Christmas? Can you remember?
Well, one was the Diablo one. So actually pretty old one. But and the other one was it was the Shadows of Mordor. It's actually a pretty good game. It's a hack and slash game where you have to like annihilate armies and armies of Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings. But I'm gonna stop there, otherwise I'm gonna spoil too much for people who are listening and didn't play the game yet.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I feel like as we've gone back to the subject of Christmas, maybe we should discuss the Christmas episode of Doctor Who.
You know what?
I haven't watched it yet.
Didn't watch it because I haven't seen the one before. I've actually missed a couple of episodes, so I need to go back and sort myself out and try and get hold of them and watch it all. So don't spoil it. Don't talk about it. Stop. We're moving on.
I've been meaning to watch it.
Maybe next month or something like that. We'll talk about that. So we'll leave that particular topic off grid.
Okay, welcome to the June. Let's talk about Christmas Doctor Who.
Yeah,
quite possibly. But yeah, that's all pretty good. But yeah, we've talked a bit about Christmas. We've talked a bit about events and stuff, and obviously this new podcast with the new channel. We've got new Twitch. We've got new Twitter. New Facebook and new YouTube. So if you're not subscribed on all of them, then get on it. Get it all and get it all subscribed, because this is where all the events, this is where all the extra cool stuff's going to be. This is where the extra community side of it's going to be. We're taking the community side of it out of the personal channels and bringing it into one place, and it's going to be pretty damn good, I reckon. Really excited for this year. I mean, I'm not one for them, but anybody got any New Year's resolutions?
The same as you.
I'm not really one to keep them, so I never do it. I never do them.
Did you used to do them, and then just now you don't bother?
Yeah, it's like I could do it, but I have better things to do.
Yeah,
like doing when I was going to stop or something.
Yeah, it is a bit weird. I mean, I think I mentioned it in one of my vlogs, in that I said something along the lines of, really, there's no difference between one day and the next in terms of the day before, like the last day of the one year and the beginning of another year. It's just a calendar ticking over, and even if you're in a different belief systems, some different belief systems have different calendars and stuff. So it just seems to have very little significance to your life. And I think if you've got something you want to do in your life, you shouldn't wait until a significant date ticks over on a little clock or a calendar. You should just get out there and do it. Life's for living, and I think as long as you're not harming anybody else, go and do whatever you want. Just get on with it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I totally agree. But one thing I do is at the end of every year, like I'd think about what I've done throughout the year. Like decide. So I think about what I've accomplished and stuff, and think what I can do next year.
Yeah.
Not saying as like a thing I must do kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's that.
So you use the new year as a marker, as a point to go, right, okay, let's go have a look.
This is what I've done, and this is what I can do, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting way of looking at it, and I suppose in that way you're not really getting into the resolution trap in the same way a lot of people. I mean,
no.
I used to have, when I was younger, I used to have a gym subscription, and in January I just wouldn't go to the gym. I just wouldn't go because it was just too busy of people who had made resolutions, gone down the gym.
January 1st.
Yeah, and then halfway through January it would tail off, and by February you're fine, it was back to normal.
Yeah, no one's there.
Yeah, then you could just get into the hot tub and enjoy it on your own. And then I stopped going because the neighbours bought a hot tub. So,
Just use theirs.
Yeah.
I'm just looking up some gaming news to sort of wrap up the podcast.
All right.
This is a story on BBC News Technology from the 3rd of December, so it's a bit old.
Yeah.
But it's saying apparently about Steam creating broadcasting software.
Yes.
To rival
Creating
Twitch.
what?
A broadcasting thing to rival Twitch.
To rival Twitch? Oh.
I'm pretty. If you have the Steam beta, I'm pretty sure you can already access it. The streaming thing.
Interesting.
And I know the Escapists. I'm pretty sure they've integrated it into their game, where you can watch people. So it's like you can watch people play the games.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you can look at a game on the store and then highlight it and then go watch game or something.
I see.
Yeah,
I suppose that
also-
sort of integration could be quite cool. And also, if they do manage to get it integrated properly with Steam, then I'm presuming the settings and so forth are very easy. You just go stream and it just do it.
Well, yeah, it would be.
I'm also looking at another story which says that the next Assassin's Creed might be set in London.
Oh, interesting.
I'm pretty sure that's been a rumour ever since the first one, really.
It's been the
Just
same
like
with
how-
GTA as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Ever since they did the GTA London expansion for, was it GTA 2?
Yeah.
For GTA 3, they were like, oh, is there going to be a London one? And then GTA 4 come out, it's like, oh, is there going to be a London one? And now GTA 5 come out and nobody's interested. They've just lost interest.
I reckon they really should make an Australian one. That would be good. Although, every American would get confused by it, because you'd have all the cars driving on the left, and they'd all be going on the right.
Yeah, that might be why they're not doing it in the UK, because the cars will be on the different side of the road.
Nah, it's fine. It'd be fine.
Yeah,
Fine for us.
Yeah, it's fine for
I'll
us.
tell you what isn't
That's all
fine
that
about
matters.
that. I'll tell you what isn't fine about that. When I went to this LAN party in Belgium and met up with Blending and Kendorian, the number of times I crossed the road and nearly got ran over because I was looking the wrong way. It was just unbelievable. It's a death trap going into another country where they drive on the other side, especially for somebody like me.
Yeah, well, no offense to any countries where they drive on the left side. But, I mean, 90% of the world drives on the right side.
I wouldn't say 90, maybe most. I would say a majority.
I'm pretty sure, besides like UK and Australia, there's not many other countries.
Shh, don't tell him that.
Yeah, I know. I've been in Thailand and I've also driven on the left side. But it's actually strange because you really have to think like total other way. When you have, I've been driving for about 6 years now in Belgium, and when you then go to like, let's say Thailand, and you have to drive on the left side, it's like my brain just goes, I don't know, brain farting, because it just doesn't compute what's going on. So that's why I actually fear if, Hellish, if you ever do a LAN party in the UK, I don't know if I'm gonna come with a car or not.
Just come on the train like
have
I
to
went
pick
to
'em up.
Belgium. It'd be fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I mean, trying something new, but well, we'll see. We'll see when the LAN party is there.
Yeah, maybe you could come on the Eurostar in a car with Kendorian.
Yeah, that would be awesome, I think.
Because it works out cheaper. If you're going on your own, it works out, I think, cheaper to buy a single ticket and just go on the train. But if you're going as a group, it works out to get cheaper to get in a car and then take the car on the Eurostar underneath. There is a ferry, but I think the prices for the car are actually quite good. We are looking at doing a LAN party in the UK. The only problem is the facilities. We don't have the facilities very much. The internet connections are terrible. I can't host it at my house. It's not big enough. So we're going to see about what we can do about that. We're looking forward. If anybody in the UK watching this has any suggestions of some locations where we can hold a 20 to 50 man LAN party somewhere over a weekend. I have found places that have the facilities and the internet connection, but there's nowhere where some people can sleep, so they'd have to stay in nearby hotels and stuff. And ideally we want somewhere, a place where people can crash overnight as well. And I found places where people can stay overnight, but there's no internet connection, so I'll have to look into it.
Well, general thing is we don't want to make it too expensive.
Yes, that's it. Keep the price down, get as many people in as possible, and we can invite loads of people and just have a massive LAN party and have lots of fun. Well, we're coming up towards the end of the podcast now, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to finish on coming up and spoiler news. Kind of what's happening in the LOSUMG scene. What's coming up, what's going on. What can you expect for the rest of January and looking into February? So does anybody have any channel news or anything that's coming up on their channels or anything like that?
Well, the event that we're going to do tomorrow, well, record tomorrow, it's a hardcore survival Minecraft, and let's kill the 3 bosses in Minecraft. That will be featuring on my channel very soon.
Okay.
So you're coming, Hellish, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to come along for that. I'm going to take part. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to watching it on your channel and seeing what happens as a few members of the League of Super Ultra Mega Geeks attempt to kill all 3 bosses in Ultra Hardcore. I did a series of my own where I did just the Ender Dragon on my own, and the worst part of that was getting the Ender Pearls. That series would have been a lot shorter otherwise. But with a group of us, maybe it'll go a lot quicker. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to that series. It's going to be good on your channel coming up soon.
Yep, very soon.
We have, of course, got Prop Hunt this afternoon. Obviously, by the time people are listening to this, it will already have happened, but it'll probably be on your channel by then.
Yes, you should be able to look on this channel. In fact, a video before this one would have been Prop Hunt, Gary's mod Prop Hunt subscriber game. That was back on the 10th, but coming up, we have got, on the 24th of January, the LOSUMG Minecraft Pizza Spleef Championships. Who won the last championship last year for Pizza Spleef? You did you? Yes. So Meapa is the current reigning champion. Will you be there to defend your title?
Of course.
Of course. So last time we did it kind of a knockout system. So like the first person to get killed went out and didn't get through to the next round after a couple of practice rounds. This season we're going to do it slightly differently. We're going to have a running tally of how many wins people have had. So we're going to get in there, we're going to probably play something like, 20 rounds of Pizza Spleef, and the champion will be the person who wins. Now the interesting thing is, everybody knows who the current leader is. So if Meapa, for example, was winning 3 games ahead of everybody else, people might turn round and try and target him a little bit more.
You guys already did that anyway. So.
Yeah, they might chase after him. So it might be quite even to see what it gets to, and we might even have to go to sudden death.
Yeah, I went to Meep quite a bit during the charity stream.
Yeah, so if you want to get involved in that and come and watch, it's on the 24th of January, and it's going to be starting at 1 o'clock UK time. If you want to actually take part, you need to be there. I think it's between 12 and half 12. Now, the information for all of this is on the LOSUMG event site, which I will put, which I've already put in the link in the description. So, if you want to come and take part in the championships, we're going to have up to 10 people. At the moment, what I'm hoping is we're going to have 5 LOSUMG people and 5 guests. But we'll see what happens, and we'll see how many people we can get into that event. We may even open it up to more people, but there will be a prize for the winner this year of the LOSUMG Pizza Spleef Championships. If you don't know what Pizza Spleef is, it's a mini game made by Seth Bling, so you can go and check it out there, Google it and have a look. Other search engines are available, but they're not as good. On the 7th of February, we've got the Open TTD subscriber game, the first subscriber game, which is going to be on the LOSUMG channel. I've done Open TTD subscriber games before. I've done 4 of them. This 5th one will be on the LOSUMG channel, and it's a special one in some ways because we haven't got any mods in, we haven't got any special theme of this, that and the other, except we've got a special map that got made. If you want to see that map, there is a picture of it on the Facebook event, and basically we'll be having, I think it's 8 people playing. Now, again, we might have 4 LOSUM people and 4 guests. If we get more applicants, what I might do is double it up, so we're doing it in pairs. So we get 2 people on each team, but we'll see about that when we get closer to the event. And that's on the 7th of February. And then on the 20th of February, we've got the LOSUM Garry's Mod Land Racer Championships. That, to be honest, is a bit of a favourite of mine. The Garry's Mod Land Racers and the Air Racer is always good fun to see what wacky contraptions people make. And again, information for all that is on the events page.
Also, check out the headers, which I made.
Yeah, check out. Tidmoth made the image pictures. Thank you very much for doing that, Tidmoth. But also, coming up on my channel recently, I started a Factorio Let's Play with Larry. I mentioned it earlier in the live stream. There will be a playlist on my channel and on his channel. Check that out. That's going to be pretty damn cool. And a spoiler alert for possibly not even February, probably maybe even March. I am looking at going towards doing maybe an EVE Online Let's Play from the very beginning. So if you've got any thoughts, ideas, questions, put them about that. Say, oh, you should do this, or you should do that, or don't bother, or it'd be cool if you did it, but did it this way. Pop them down in the comments. Get your input in before I even start the series. There's your opportunity to get your input on that.
Make sure you have Microsoft Excel. You'll need it.
Well, I've only ever used that when I was doing a certain thing. I think if you're flying around doing PvP, or if you're doing data sites, or
that's different.
Many things, lots of things like that. Then no spreadsheets required. Maybe if you're doing marketing, you might want to do some spreadsheets. Maybe if you're doing planning to interaction, you might want to do some spreadsheets. If you're doing industry, then most people do use spreadsheets. Yeah. So there are opportunities where spreadsheets help you do play the game, I must admit. But does that mean that it's bad? No, of course it doesn't. It
means it's better.
It means it's better. Yeah, I love spreadsheets. But to be honest,
so exciting.
There's so much stuff in EVE that it doesn't matter whether you like them or not. There'll be something. There's an activity you can do that is suited to people. But we'll get more into that when I actually start the series. But this is your opportunity to add your comments about what you would and wouldn't like to see in a Let's Play series. So more podcasts coming. The weekly wrap-ups coming from Meapa on the LOSUM channel. We've got 4 events scheduled already. More events coming up soon. Blending's got an ultra-hardcore 3-boss challenge coming up on his channel. And Tidmoth, I think, is going to be doing more drawing with Tidmoth coming up soon as well, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'll be do highlights of the events I go to as well, like I usually do.
That's right, yes. The main feed for the LOSUM events will be on the LOSUM channel. However, you may get some highlight videos from people like Tidmoth as well, so that's pretty cool.
People like me with no schedule.
With no schedule at all. Tidmoth is a randomer. You're a co-star, what we call a co-star in the League of Super Ultra Mega Geeks. I know that Ken Doran was planning to actually launch his YouTube channel. So he was a co-star, but then he was actually going to actually being a YouTube producer. But that's been delayed due to baby. So we will see when that happens sometime in the future. But from us for now, that's it. Thank you very much for hanging out with us today on the podcast. Like I said, if you've got any thoughts on my EVE Online Let's Play, or any requests for anything you want to see in upcoming podcasts, or anything else indeed, pop them down in the comments. And if you've enjoyed the podcast, remember to leave it a like, it helps us out. And of course, spread it around to anybody you think might be interested. But that's all from us for now. Thank you for listening in, and until we see you next time, it's goodbye from us all. Goodbye!
Bye!